Good morning, this is Tiffany from Tiffany's Beauty Trends, and today I'm going to do an actual step-by-step tutorial. I haven't done one in a long time, and the only thing I'm going to do that's probably going to make some heads turn is I'm going to apply my base with my fingers. I find it to be so much easier than a sponge. This will probably get a lot of flack. I'm sorry, but I just take it, and I have my side mirror here. I apply it, and you just, you kind of just apply it more as needed. I do try to get all my areas, so we have a nice fair amount of coverage. And if you remember, before there was a beauty blender, there was Kevin Aquan, and he used his hands, and he was a masterful makeup artist. Not saying that I am, just saying I like to use this technique because it saves so much trouble prepping the sponge, getting the product off of the sponge. Just all that you have to do. It's just as easily done with your fingers. So I'm sorry if I upset someone, but this is what I do. I do have a brush for it, and I guess for the last portion I can look for my brush. I think it's this one, and you just move that brush around, get a nice coverage. I don't think I got my nose too well with my fingers, but to finish this off, I think this is just fine if you want to use a brush. Oh, and I'm holding my hand like a teacup. I don't know why I do stuff like that. I'm always trying to figure out myself. I guess it's just because that hand has nothing to do at the moment, so it's just kind of staring. So now, of course, the only thing I have that you wouldn't have if you didn't use your fingers is I have to wipe off my fingers. So that is a second step. So I suppose either one takes time. So I use some MAC in NW15. I'm not sure if they've discontinued that color. I haven't been on their site for a while, and my bottle is getting near empty. So if it is, it was supposed to be a little neutral warm with just a little color, not ivory. So that is my color. Now, I just learned from doing the DNA test that I am actually almost 50% Italian and 50% Swedish. So I thought that was rather interesting because all my life I was told something different. Okay, so you still want to use a primer, and I got this free in a box. It's called Priming is Everything, and you just want to, even though I did put on my, sorry, my dog is whining. Puppy, it's okay. I put this on even though I put my foundation on it, just to make sure there isn't a different property to the primer, because I do want my makeup to have an impact and not just slide around. Oh, poor puppy. I don't know if you can hear that, but she wants out. She misses her father. She is pair bonded with my husband, and they are out getting some Chick-fil-A. I know all this information you needed to know, right? Okay, so then you probably want to tackle your eyebrows. Now, I don't have much of a brow, so I usually use a brow powder, and I have It's Brow Power instead of powder, And I'm missing my slanted brush, so I'm just using a really flat, tiny tip brush, and I'm putting that in there. This is in the color Very Taupe, so it matches, you know, almost anyone's color. It's okay, puppy. It's okay. So sad when they get really upset, isn't it? Okay, so my eyebrow on this side exists. On the other side, I had an injury, and with it, it took, about a quarter of my eye. So I really don't know when to go dipping. So I usually dip right about there. I don't know if that's the same as the other eye. Probably not. Sometimes it's just better for me to round them because then I don't have a big discrepancy. But I do like this brow power. It's pretty good. I just got it yesterday in the mail. So I haven't tried it a lot, but I have tried it some. And then, of course, just brush your brows. I don't have any there, but I'll pretend brush and get that all squared away. Okay, the next step that you may want to take is some people set. I don't set my powder. I just put it on. I think it might be because of my age, the reason I don't set it, because I don't really find a benefit in letting it sit on my skin for a long period of time. And I didn't use a concealer. I'm sorry, I will go back and do that because most people do need a concealer. I'm sorry, I haven't done a tutorial in so long that I have forgotten the steps myself. Okay, so before you set, you want to go ahead and do your concealer. Now, I got also from It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eyes. Now, I haven't used this before, so I can't recommend it entirely, but it should be pretty heavy. And I'm going to take some from the other side. And what you want to do is you want to make kind of a triangular shape, and then, of course, do your eye. So you go this, this. Oh, I'm not getting much down. You're supposed to do a triangle. I'm sorry, guys. Since I haven't done this, I am like being the worst teacher there is. But you want to do that, and if you can get that done, I strongly suggest. I will actually outline where your concealer should go. And I got some on my nose too. Okay, so this concealer seems to work pretty good. The way you want to do concealer is you want to do it in a motion. You want to go across, down, and down, across, down, and down, and then of course blot that away. And you want to put a line down your nose, 3 lines on your forehead. Now see, I don't use these things because I have determined for me they aren't that important, but I will go ahead and set the concealer. And hopefully it looks good enough for everyone. Okay. So you would be setting this and setting this and setting this and setting any area you put the concealer with. Now, I need to find my bronzer, but I do have a small bronzer. This is a bronzer brush that I like to use. It's kind of tapered. And what I do is I'm using just a, I'm sorry about the mirror. I'm using a tiny Fenty product, which is called Shady Biz, which is awesome. It's good for any color. And you take it, rub it up on your forehead, and do circular motions towards the temple. Go down at the edge of your hairline and go across your jawline. And if you're me, you need to blend it out because it looks like one straight line. I use it to try to sculpt more of a chin because I do have a double chin for my weight. So you just want to make sure you've got these areas. Some people do one side of the nose and another side just to define it more. You can do that as well. And some might do the chin just a little bit too. So that is what I use for contouring. The other part with the concealer was part of contouring as well. So it's probably not good that I skip over all that, but I do. Okay, I found a blush. It's from the Deck of Scarlet, and I'm going to use the pink color up here. And I just take one of these brushes, has a little side to it, and you want to apply it to the apples, which are the front parts of your cheeks. If you want to go all the way back, that's up to you. You can do that. I see people doing both, so whichever you like. I'll just do the apples right now. When you smile, that's when you can see your apples the most. Sounds funny, but true. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to use some highlighter. And I'm going to use Becca Champagne. And I'm opening the wrong side again. Cover up the mirror. This is the color. You're going to take some, put it on the same brush, and sweep it from about the pupil of the eye back to the temple. So pupil to temple. Then you're going to, some people put a little bit above their eye to draw attention. Put it down the nose, mostly on the nose tip, and across the lip area right there. And since I have a cleft chin, I apply right here too. And some people like to put a little bit right by their eyebrows. So that finishes it for highlighter. That is everything you should do. Now, I think I'm going to scooch a little bit closer. Okay. So, what do I want to do next? I think I'll jump into the Jackie Aina, hope I'm saying that right, palette. It's a beautiful palette. Don't know what colors I want to use. I am thinking I'm going to stay with the beige gold. Well, actually, what would I call that? It's called Soleil and Zam. And I'm going to jump in with ginger. Just get any light brush. And Anastasia Beverly Hills is notorious for having a lot of powder that comes off when you're using it. So you're going to apply this in a swishy motion to the crease of your eye. And if you're me, you want to go up a little higher because I have what's called a hooded eye. So I go up just like 1.5 times what you need to do. I know I should be comforting my dog right now, right? Okay, I'm going to go in again, tap it off. And when I say tap it off, you take a straight tip and go and make sure all of the excess powder is tapped off. And then you do the same thing for the other eye. I never do one eye at a time. I'm not that skilled. I would have them looking like cousins instead of sisters. And I went up a little too high from the very beginning on this side. It's a little too high right in here. So I'm just kind of snaking around and seeing if I can make these two a little more even. Okay, I feel a little bit better about that. And that is a little too far out. Okay, so then you're going to get another brush or the same brush if we're in the same color zone. And I'm going to use a color named, let me see here, Edges. And it's just a little bit deeper than ginger. So I'm going to put it on the inside of the crease. The one that you should always start with. I'm going to actually add this to the bottom of mine. I'm sorry, my little 4-pound dog is getting the best of this. She's not liking Mama's makeup. So this is actually your crease right here, where I'm putting this color right now. Okay, so this is what you should have, something like this. Okay, I'm going to wipe off that brush again, and I'm going to use on the outer corner Soleil. It's a very pretty shimmer, and I'm just going to put it right about here and try not to go too far out. Get some more in there, tap it off. And put just a little bit on half of my eye. Rub that off. And then there's a color named Zam. And I'm wondering if I should just pack that on with my pinky. And the answer is yes. So sometimes when you see a glittery shade and you want to use it, you should use your pinky to tap that in. And you just go until you're satisfied with the result. And if you get some under your eye, you know, don't feel bad. I think I just did. Okay, so now we have all of these. There is one color that I can use for underneath my eyebrow, and it's called Trust Issues. And it's a very nice white. Technically, you don't want to have a sparkly under eye, but I do it all the time. I mean, I don't think it's that big. Hello again. I'm sorry, I had technical issues. Once again, happens all the time. I think I had made it to either the end of the eyes, or I had made it to, actually, I made it to the underline. So for the eyelashes, you want to get your brush out, take the excess off, go gently on the back side of the eyelashes, and then flip it to the front. And you can use zigzag motions, or you can just go straight upward. And you want to get as good of a look as you can without being too clumpy. Again, do the back of the lash, then flip to the front. And this one isn't nearly, oh my gosh, I just got a major clump. Okay, it's over. It's gone. Crisis averted. Okay, now I've got a ton of mascara on right now because I've done this twice. Sorry. I don't know why I'm holding this up here. I have no idea why. Okay, so we'll finish this. It's okay, puppy. And then you do the bottoms just like you're just touching every single one with your brush as lightly as possible to the very edges. Always do better on this eye. This poor eye is always looking sad. Okay, and they just got the dog. She is ecstatic. So, here we go. I'm just trying to finish this up. I actually didn't get very good in the outer corner, and that would be because you have to go out like this. I didn't do that at all. So, that's not so good. And then we have our last thing, which you can do these in any order you like. I would put false eyelashes on, but it takes me like 30 minutes. It's not worth your time or mine. So I'm going to pick a plum colored lipstick or lip gloss. And go in and try to define the tips. Okay. Okay, I got a little messy with that. So I just rubbed that off. Sorry, grabbing my towel. And I just kind of start over a little bit. Okay, so that is from start to finish. Then, of course, you want to do your hair, get it styled the way you like it. I really like to have one side, oh boy, I'm messing it up big time. One side over here, and I've really enjoyed my hair color, as you can tell, because I keep doing it. This is my last go around. And this is the completed look. So the eyes, eyelashes, cheeks, highlighter, lips, bronzer, contour, which I skipped the concealer, and setting it, which you usually bake, which is putting powder on, the loose powder, and letting it stay on for about 10 to 12 minutes. Just kind of settling what you've put on. If you're really young, setting is great. And I don't know, maybe at 50 I'm being a little too shy about using powder, but it just seems to me like a lot of unnecessary work. Okay, so I'm going to set you loose. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all my new subscribers. I appreciate you so much. You can never know how much my heart just expands with joy when I see I've got new subscribers. And I always try to return the love. So let's support each other, and instead of just watching my video or streaming past everything, watch one whole video and like it, subscribe. Just make my day. I will be totally thrilled. And I will do the same to you. I'll watch your entire video, make sure that subscription sticks, and I'll put a like, thumbs up, and on some I will put a bell if your content comes out quite quickly. If you're slower, I usually will just check on it periodically, because I know some people don't make videos every other day, which it seems I do. I need to pick 2 days to upload. I'll have to think about it, but maybe, let's see, maybe Thursday and Tuesday. Tuesday and Thursday. How does that sound? And I'll probably upload by 11 a.m. Central Time. Okay? Thanks so much for watching again. I love you all. Bye.